In our modern world, things are always changing, yet some principles stand the test of time. Here's the reality. A man must be able to stand strong, no matter the circumstances. There are certain core skills every man should master, regardless of the age we live in. Some might watch this and assume it's advocating toxic masculinity, which is a fair concern, especially given the current issue of men being led astray by the idea that men and women are identical. In this video, we'll cover 6 fundamental skills that every man should learn in his life. First on the list is knowing how to defend oneself. Whether you're a business professional, a doctor, or even a comedian, lacking this skill leaves a gap in your personal development. While it's wise to avoid getting into street fights or unnecessary confrontations, that doesn't mean you should neglect learning basic self-defense skills. Imagine this. You're walking with your wife, and someone disrespects her by slapping her inappropriately. How would you handle it? You can't just rely on calling the police and standing by, idly, waiting for them to show up. Ignoring it altogether would not only diminish her respect for you, but also erode your own sense of self-worth. No one should be allowed to harm those you care about without facing consequences. You might be surprised at how many men today would choose to turn a blind eye and convince themselves it was the right thing to do. As a man, one of your core responsibilities is to safeguard those who depend on you. Turning a blind eye in moments that demand action means compromising your integrity and stepping away from your duty as a protector. So take this seriously. Never look for a fight, but understand that there may be times when defending yourself becomes inevitable. If that moment comes, you'd better know how to throw a proper punch. Use a few feints to catch your opponent off guard, and when his defenses are down, deliver a strong direct hit to the chin. Fight over. However, if your technique is wrong, you risk injuring yourself more than him, so don't pretend you know how to fight. Take the time to actually learn. The second essential skill is mastering conflict resolution. This pairs perfectly with the ability to fight. No matter how strong or skilled you are in physical combat, your first approach should always be diplomacy. Knowing how to de-escalate situations with words and calm tensions is a mark of true leadership and maturity. Whenever possible, you should opt for diplomacy and firm reasoning to de-escalate conflicts. Being able to cool tempers or stop a fight in its tracks is a sign of leadership. Think about how all the male gorillas settle down when the alpha enters the scene. The alpha doesn't keep order because he's constantly aggressive, but because of the respect he commands. The ability to diffuse conflict is a skill that can only be mastered by someone who knows how to be formidable. This is why knowing how to fight and how to resolve conflict peacefully go hand in hand. Third, develop a commanding presence. Have you ever noticed certain men who seem to demand respect the moment they step into a room, even without uttering a word? What if I told you this isn't an innate gift, but a skill you can cultivate? That commanding presence is the result of numerous small habits and characteristics you can work on over time. Be a man of strength with a confident handshake, make eye contact when engaging with others, and carry yourself with your chest held high. When you meet another man's gaze, give a nod to acknowledge him. Here's the reality. Charisma isn't something you're born with. It's a learned behavior, a skill much like how we learn to walk or pick up vocabulary when mastering a new language. Now, many try to fake these qualities, but it never works. People can always spot someone who's pretending, the guy who squeezes hands too tightly or glares at others in an attempt to appear tough. Don't be that guy. The best way to develop real charisma is by surrounding yourself with authentic men. Observe how they carry themselves and learn from their example. This could be your father, a mentor, or men in environments like a fight club, where respect is earned, not forced. Fighters, despite their toughness, are often some of the most respectful and composed individuals you'll meet, and they naturally command the respect of others through their demeanor. Number 4 is deep critical thinking. The ability to think critically across a variety of subjects not only makes you a better conversationalist, but also enhances your life and helps you make wiser decisions. The first step in critical thinking is learning to consider multiple viewpoints. As I often say on this channel, don't blindly accept everything you're told, but also don't blindly trust everything you think you know. This is easier said than done, but true critical thinking requires setting aside your personal biases and being open to new information. Just because you've always approached something a certain way doesn't mean it's the correct way. It's essential to challenge your assumptions and be willing to examine different perspectives and arguments. You might find that by questioning what you thought you knew, you're able to gain new insights that will change the way you see the world. Number 5 is mastering your finances. One of the major shortcomings of our education system is the lack of financial literacy. Many men go through life without understanding how to properly manage their money, make sound financial choices, or set themselves on a path toward financial independence. We're often taught that having a job with a steady paycheck is the goal, but if you begin to shift your mindset about money, you can open the door to much better opportunities. A well-known book that has helped countless people rethink their relationship with money is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The sooner you start educating yourself about finances, the better. This knowledge is essential for navigating life successfully. Number 6 is mastering stress management. How you handle stress is a key factor in determining your success. The person who panics and falls apart under pressure will always be outperformed by the one who stays calm and thinks clearly when faced with challenges. Stress is inevitable, and as you take on more responsibilities in life, learning to manage it becomes increasingly crucial. Stress often stems from procrastination. If you frequently find yourself scrambling to meet deadlines or constantly feeling behind, it's likely due to putting things off. To regain control, start by writing down everything you need to accomplish along with their deadlines. Simply putting your tasks on paper helps clear mental clutter and lowers stress levels. Once you have your list, prioritize what's most urgent and important. Focus on one task at a time, giving it your full attention until it's done. Then move on to the next. Before long, you'll be tackling your responsibilities proactively instead of reacting in a rush. While both men and women should strive to handle stress well, society tends to be more forgiving toward women when they struggle under pressure. Men, on the other hand, are expected to perform regardless. As a man, it's crucial to embrace this challenge. Don't complain about the weight of responsibility. This channel is dedicated to helping you strengthen every aspect of your life. And if you're serious about leveling up, don't forget to show your support by liking and subscribing. Until next time.